You gear up, you ride safe, you follow all the rules. And someone crashes into you and suddenly you're guilty until proven innocent? Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you're a rider, you're already fighting every day just to be seen. Distracted drivers love to blame riders, even when the facts say otherwise.
We have been promoting motorcycle safety and trusted by the riding community for nearly 30 years. Do your research after a motorcycle injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, receive a 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV. 0%. Or you can take advantage of $12,500 in current cash incentives on the 2025 Kia EV6 and 2026 EV9.
Take advantage of this offer on our electric vehicles while we have a great selection and before these offers expire later this year.
The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. Finance. Not all riders will qualify. This offer expires September 2nd, 2025.
At Fry's Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Fry's, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple of years and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A great start last night from Ryne Nelson. What should his role be in 2026? Are the Cardinals stuck in NFL purgatory? And I know it is a Thursday, but an emergency impromptu top 5 list coming to you today here on the program. Welcome into the Thursday edition, the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Thanks for joining us. Producer Evan, he is behind the glass, ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060. You can also interact with the program over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream where you can watch the show over there. It was 6 great innings from Ryne Nelson last night. It was a win for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's break down how good Nelson was last night and what role he might be in next season.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
6 innings of 1-run ball against the best team in baseball? I ask with somewhat of a question mark at the end of it.
Have to be now, right? I can't deny that any longer.
They're very good. Milwaukee Brewers is a very good baseball team. I still think many are waiting for them to show it in the postseason, but I don't think there can be an argument of how good they have been in the regular season this year. They just find ways to win. Well, you beat them last night behind a great start from Ryne Nelson. 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, just the 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, did not walk anybody. And that got me thinking about a bigger picture conversation. And let's be honest. Everything right now about the Arizona Diamondbacks is with an eye towards next year. Nothing that they're going to do here other than that small flirtation that we had a couple of weeks ago, right after the deadline, of them maybe making just a small little run to remind us of what could have been. Everything right now is about an eye towards next season. It is about getting the course set for 2026, whatever that may look like, whoever that might involve. And you're going to use the remainder of this season, the rest of September, to get a jump start on that work. Started at the deadline. It's now going to continue through the rest of the year. And then the rest of the offseason work can begin and a roster can start to be put together for 2026 with all of the information that was gathered from the trade deadline through the end of the year about some of these players that are trying to fight for spots, right? Blaze Alexander, what role is he going to have next season? Who's going to be the starting first baseman for this team? Is Lourdes Gurriel going to opt out and now you're going to have a hole at left field? All of these questions are ones that will get answered here over the rest of this season, over the month and a couple of days that we have left. Well, Ryne Nelson and what role he is going to have next season is also one of those questions that can be answered. And Ryne Nelson, one of the three starters that we've mentioned here on the show that we know are locked into this rotation next season. It's Ryne Nelson, it's Brandon Pfaadt, and it's Eduardo Rodriguez as the third starter in that group. 2 open spots. Will those be filled with internal guys? Will there be a free agent or a trade that fills that spot? Those questions will get answered as the winter progresses. But Ryne Nelson's spot as one of the 3 guys in this rotation going into next year has been set in stone. So when I want to talk about Ryne Nelson and his role moving forward for this team, the real conversation I want to have today is this the opening day starter for the Diamondbacks in 2026? Is this the de facto ace of the Diamondbacks for 2026? We know Corbin Burnes not going to be around for most of next year. If he does come back, you're looking at probably July, maybe August for when Corbin Burnes will be able to get back into this rotation. And even then, it's kind of a quiet secret about the Tommy John surgery. Baseball fans have just assumed that pitchers now come back from this injury because it's become so commonplace, but it still takes a little bit. Everybody gets the alert on their phone of a pitcher undergoing Tommy John surgery, and they just assume, okay, just go 12 months from now, that's when that player is going to be back, and we can expect him to be good as new, healed up, ready to go, and he's going to be back to being that same pitcher that he was before the injury. It's just a little detour for a year. It doesn't always work that way. In most cases, it doesn't work that way. It actually takes a little longer. You get the surgery, you come back, and it takes you basically the rest of that year to ramp back up. So you're not going to see the best version of Corbin Burnes. You're not going to see the version of Corbin Burnes that the Diamondbacks signed until probably 2027. So somebody's going to have to be the ace, the number one, the frontline guy for this rotation next season. And boy, Ryne Nelson is certainly making the case that he should be that guy. Certainly has a case over Eduardo Rodriguez, certainly has a case over Brandon Pfaadt. You would maybe say if Zach Gallen returned, that's where the battle would be. If they bring somebody in that has a great track record and a great resume, although I don't know if there's another Corbin Burnes signing coming for this franchise. So really, Zach Gallen is the only person that I think could put some pressure on this decision because Ryne Nelson has been great since the Diamondbacks decided to stop messing around with him being a swingman, spot starter. Now you're back in the bullpen. You're our long guy. No, wait, we need you to start again. Then they made him an official starter. And the first time he started as a member of this rotation permanently was, making sure I have the dates here correctly, June 7th against Cincinnati. And it didn't go well for Ryne Nelson. That was the start, as you'll remember, 3 innings, the 7 runs allowed, got knocked out of the game super early. But he has made every start since then. In total, 15 starts. 15 of his 18 starts have come since that date. He made a couple of spot starts for Corbin Burnes when he needed some extra time, for Eduardo Rodriguez when they skipped him in the rotation when he was banged up. He made a couple of spot starts, was kicking around as a long man reliever for this team, and then they moved into the rotation. He's made 15 straight starts, hasn't jumped back and forth. And in those 15 starts, including that game against Cincinnati, Ryne Nelson has pitched to a 3.58 ERA as a full-fledged member of this starting rotation. Now, I want to take that a step further. I'm going to remove the Cincinnati start And I know I'm kind of playing around with the numbers here, but let's remember the context around that start. He had been back and forth, bullpen, starter. The previous outing that he had on May 31st was 4 innings in relief as a long man, so he wasn't super stretched out. They were kind of going back and forth. So I want to take that one out. I want to give Ryne Nelson a mulligan. I want to look at the 14 starts after that one, including last night's great outing against Milwaukee. And so when you remove the Cincinnati start, Ryne Nelson has pitched to a sub-3 ERA in those 14 starts. In fact, it is a 2.93 earned run average in those 14 starts. Would be good enough for 13th best in all of baseball. You would be talking about a starter. Take out the Cincinnati starts. Forget that he was ever a long man, a swing man. Remove those from your memory and just look at the 14 starts that he has given this team since being put into the rotation. It would be good enough to be a top 15 starter in the sport. That's ace territory. That's when you start talking about a guy as a frontline starter, as a guy who is your stopper every 5th day. You know, we're not going to have a very lengthy losing streak because we have Corbin Burns, we have Paul Skeens, we have Zach Wheeler, we have
Shohei
Ohtani. You are now starting to get to the place where you can say, we've got Ryne Nelson. Now, I am a little skeptical of whether or not this is sustainable because Ryne Nelson is basically a one-pitch pitcher. He throws 5 pitches, but it's really one that has gotten him to this level of success. It's the pitch that he throws 63% of the time. It's that fastball that for the second straight day, we're going to get a little nerdy on everybody.
Huge nerd.
His fastball, the best pitch when it comes to run value out of anybody that has pitched at the big league level for the Diamondbacks this season. He has been excellent. That fastball has been excellent. The problem is none of his other pitches really grade out that great. His cutter is solid. His slider is okay, but he just doesn't have that second or third offering. And to me, when I think about just any starter in your rotation, you got to have multiple ways to get guys out. But certainly, if you want to be in that ace dominant top 15 starter conversation, you can't just rely on one pitch because just as easily as you've had that great success, if teams make that adjustment and you don't have another weapon that you can deploy, if you don't have another pitch in your arsenal that's going to help you adjust to their adjustment, very quickly, Ryne Nelson can go back to being a pitcher with a 4.5, 5 ERA and may not be able to be that ace. Right now, statistically speaking, the way he's pitching this year, he's an ace. He is pitching like an ace this season. He pitched like an ace last night. I do have some worries, some concerns about the adjustments that may be made and how well he may pitch in 2026 because, let's be honest, it's a little unfair to say, oh, you pitched to a sub-3 ERA when you were a full-fledged member of the rotation. That's the new expectation for you. That's a high bar for Ryne Nelson to try to clear after only 14, 15 starts as a full-fledged member of this rotation this year. And so I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. He is pitching like a frontline starter. He is pitching like the guy that should get the ball on opening day next season. And until I'm presented with another candidate, Ryne Nelson is the guy that should be the number one for this rotation next season. He absolutely should be the guy that is the opening day starter. Again, until another candidate or pitcher is put in front of me with a resume that I think beats out Ryne Nelson's, he's the guy. I just don't know if I'm ready to go to ace territory yet. I'm hedging my bets here just a touch.
It's hard to be a frontline starter in Major League Baseball with really one great pitch and 2 serviceable pitches. And that's where they grade out, right? That's where the cutter slider grade out as serviceable. We took a look at the curveball, which is certainly not one he should be turning to quite a bit, as well as the changeup, which he doesn't throw all that much. Also, not something that grades out very well. It's just hard in Major League Baseball, and I'm not saying it's impossible, without 2 top-of-the-line pitches to be a frontline starter. And you can do it with one pitch, but it's just hard to get extended starts when you have 2 pitches you can turn to, and you don't have something that plays off of them.
Well, and it's because as a reliever, you can sometimes get away with having one pitch as a reliever. It's because you're seeing guys one time. Over the course of a season, you may see an individual batter
4 times.
If it's a division rival, 10 at-bats against the top player on the other team. Like, it's not.
And feels like a lot, even.
It's not going to be a massive, huge sample size. Whereas as a starter, you're going to see the same batter 3 times in one game. If things are going according to plan, you are going to see them 3 times in one game. And so you have to be able to, that second at bat, throw them something, give them a wrinkle that they didn't see in the first at bat.
Right,
or else you are just going to be, it's going to be easy to counter what you are doing. Now, having an excellent fastball the way Ryne Nelson does, it's the 5th or 6th best fastball in the sport. So he is operating from a position of strength with that pitch. He just needs a little something else for me to be like, that's an ace. Because I can very easily make the case of, yeah, they may just take the fastball and they'll lay off all the breaking stuff and it'll make the fastball a lot easier to see and they'll just start crushing that pitch and there'll be a little bit of an adjustment.
I will tell you, looking at the metrics of pitch by pitch for him, it does make it understandable why they thought bullpen may have been the right play at first.
Well, because the arsenal doesn't
feel like a starter.
Doesn't have multiple out pitches. Now, I think it can. I think the slider and cutter are, I think you used the word serviceable. I think they're a little above that. I think they're fine pitches, but I just don't know if he goes to them enough to warrant them being major part. I mean, he throws his fastball 63% of the time.
I have to imagine that is towards the tops of the league.
So you want me to try to do some research on the fly here and see?
Yeah, I got it.
You're gonna ask like ChatGPT or something?
Yep.
Yeah. AI is gonna save you here. I wonder if, I'm sure when you pull back this research, and I'm trying to do it also as well, I'm sure there's a reliever who throws their fastball percentage-wise more than that. Because they're only a 2-pitch pitcher and they just throw it 75% of the time. Because they have a fastball and a slider and they throw the slider 25% of the time. That's going to be my guess, is that if there are a couple of players that throw their fastball more than Ryne Nelson, that they're going to be more of the reliever variety. That's just my guess.
ChatGPT gave me the fastest fastballs, so just give me some time.
So ChatGPT not on your side here today.
No.
So do you want me to take a timeout? Do you want me to tease something here and then let you do your work here?
Perfect.
Would that help you out here?
Yeah.
Would that give you a little more runway than maybe on the other side?
A little bit of more runway.
All right, you know what? I can do that for you. But Ryne Nelson, great last night. Certainly worthy of the conversation of, is he the ace? Is he the frontline starter of this team? Now, I think he's going to be by default. I just don't know if I'm going to talk about him the way I talk about Tariq Skubal and Paul Skeens and Christopher Sanchez and just Garrett Crochet. I'm just naming top-line starters. Hunter Brown in Houston, right? I don't know if Ryne Nelson is going to enter that conversation. Statistically, this year he kind of deserves it. I just don't know if that's going to be a conversation we're always going to have around him. But he's been great, and if he can add some extra pitches or use those pitches in a different way, I think he has something that's a little more sustainable here. But he's been great. And I saw somebody point this out on social media. I think it was D-Back Stats and Info, that Brandon Pfaadt got a contract extension worth $45 million. Ryne Nelson has pitched better than Brandon Pfaadt has had, not just this year, but over the last couple of years. So Brandon Pfaadt got a $45 million contract extension off of results that don't match Ryne Nelson's. So is Ryne Nelson in line for extension that's going to be more than that? Obviously something to keep an eye on, but I'm sure behind the scenes in those front offices, there are conversations of, do we think this is sustainable? I'm sure there are models and metrics being run in the Diamondbacks front office that are probably trying to get to the answers to the same questions that we're trying to have here today. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, are the Cardinals stuck in NFL purgatory? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Close out summer with a Saturday night showdown. Phoenix Rising hosts El Paso Locomotive on Friday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. with great soccer and even better value. Score big with the $4 3-for-3 menu featuring a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials during the match. Tickets start at just $15. Log yours in now at phxrisingfc.com. Hot dogs, cold drinks, one fiery rivalry. Don't miss it.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, we want you to feel like a kid in a candy store. All of our diamonds are in stock, in-store and online, so you get to use your eyes, not your imagination. Come in and look at marquee-shaped diamonds right next to ovals and pears. As your friend and jeweler, you can trust you'll get your dream diamond at an everyday competitive price. We have the widest selection in-store and at shaneco.com because a friend knows choosing a diamond is personal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Jim Rome here through Rome Report. Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley said recently that deciding whether or not to pick himself to play was the toughest decision he would ever have to make. And today, he decided not to play. So, was that the right call? Depends who you ask. I find it pretty funny myself that there's so many people so disappointed that he made a selfless decision, putting the team ahead of himself and leading from the front. But I think he got it right. Listen, if anybody other than Keegan Bradley was captain, Keegan Bradley probably would have been a captain's pick. But there's a lot more that goes into that gig than meets the eye. Being captain carries an enormous responsibility with a great deal of pressure. Playing on the Ryder Cup is an enormous responsibility with a great deal of pressure. Clearly, he felt that he could not give either the attention it needed if he did both. Yes, he'd love to play, but he was hired to lead. He absolutely did the right thing. I'm Jim Rome.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarter. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Appreciate you joining us. The Thursday edition of the show. Chris Schubert with you. Before we dive into Are the Cardinals in NFL Purgatory, producer Evan, I think, got the answer to the question that we were asking before the break.
I officially got the answer to the question.
So Ryne Nelson, his fastball, usage-wise, 62.4% if we're being incredibly specific. Nearly 63% of the time he throws his fastball. And I wondered aloud where that would rank among overall usage for pitches. And I said to you that among fastballs, it's probably towards the top, but it's not going to be number one because there's going to be relievers who have two pitches and one of them is a fastball.
And so you are right.
Okay.
He is 9th in baseball, according to StatCast, on percentage of fastballs thrown. Now, with that being said, you can't filter it by reliever, but knowing names and clicking on their StatCast pages.
Okay.
The all 8 names in front of Ryne Nelson are all relievers.
Yeah.
So he is the first
starter
on the list.
Yeah, and I think this is the cause for concern, right? And just to kind of put a bow on this, I think this would be the thing that stops me from saying he can be an ace or he is an ace. I just worry about an over-reliance on one pitch when you are a starter. You just have to have an arsenal. And I'm not saying you have to be Yu Darvish and have 8 different pitches that you can throw, or Seth Lugo in Kansas City and you have 4 different breaking pitches that you throw. I'm not saying that, but you need to have other offerings to where maybe instead of throwing your fastball 62% of the time, we're throwing it 45% of the time. I mean, think about that. 45% is still a massive number, but think of the difference it would mean for Ryne Nelson as a starter if he did that.
So if you look at it this way, there are 3 guys in baseball that have a higher run value on their fastball.
Okay.
Paul Skeens, Brian Wu, and Nick Pivetta.
So those are starters too,
Those
all 3
are
starters.
All 3 starters. Paul Skeens throws his fastball about 39.1% of the time. Brian Wu is 47% of the time, and Nick Pivetta is the highest at 47.2% of the time.
So none of those 3 guys throw it 50% of the time.
None of them throw it. Kevin Gausman, who is just behind Ryne Nelson, does throw it about 54% of the time, which is still 8% less than Ryne Nelson.
And this is what I'm getting at. And this is something that, again, is if we played green light, yellow light, red light, right? Green light, go, full speed, he's an ace. Red light, stop, he's not an ace. This is why this is a yellow light for me. This is why I'm wait a second. I just worry about this. He's great. The pitch itself is great. I just worry about an over-reliance when you're a starter. Do you have that wrinkle when in the 6th or 7th inning, you're facing a lineup for the 3rd time through and you need to get a big batter out in a huge spot? Last night against the Brewers, 6 innings, 1 run allowed. Okay, let's see when the book gets out on Ryne Nelson if he's able to do that night in and night out. That would be my worry. The Arizona Cardinals listed among a bunch of teams in an athletic story today titled Steelers Dolphins are stuck in NFL purgatory and they aren't alone. The Cardinals, one of the teams listed in this story. And I wanted to weigh in on this because I think out of all the topics that we discussed in the morning meeting to get ready for the show, the one that was the most heated between producer Evan and myself, and it kind of boils down to a semantics argument about what you mean when you use the term purgatory, because I can't live in a world where we talk about the Arizona Cardinals the same way we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Jags and Cardinals, as we mentioned earlier this week, a lot of similarities between those two teams with where their quarterbacks are at, with what coach number they're on, the window that they're operating in. So I'm okay if you want to say that the Jags and Cardinals are very similar. I just don't know if I'm comfortable living in a world where we talk about the Colts entering 2025 the same way we talk about the Cardinals and the Steelers and the Dolphins. It just feels like you're trying to fit too many teams, and there's only 5 teams listed in the story, but you're trying to fit too many teams into a word where when I think of the word purgatory, I think of being stuck. I think as a franchise, you are stuck. You are lost. You are in between 2 different paths. I don't think the Cardinals are stuck. In fact, I would argue the Cardinals, since Jonathan Gannon got here, have been on a slow but upward trajectory. They don't feel stuck in what they're trying to do. They don't feel like they're a team that's caught in between 2 paths. The Colts feel like they're caught in between. Ever since Phillip Rivers was their quarterback and they tried their hand with Matt Ryan, and ever since Andrew Luck left, they feel like they're in between. They're never really fully committed to tearing it down and rebuilding, but then every so often they draft Anthony Richardson and they make you think that they're going to do things the right way. They're a team that's stuck. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been stuck under Mike Tomlin for a really long time. You know they're going to have a record above 500. You know they're going to make the postseason. You're never picking them to go far in the postseason. That, to me, is purgatory. You are stuck. The Cardinals, to me, don't feel stuck. The Cardinals, to me, feel like they are on an upward trajectory, and every year there's a new goal that they have added to their list of accomplishments for the season, and this year it's making the postseason. Now, you missed the postseason. You're resetting at quarterback. Now you're stuck because you're in quarterback purgatory. You need to now find that next franchise quarterback. Now you're stuck because you may not be bad enough to draft a quarterback, but you're certainly not good enough to win the Super Bowl. You're caught in between. So I don't feel comfortable with this idea that the Cardinals are NFL's version of purgatory and the other teams that are joining them in this meeting are the Indianapolis Colts, the Miami Dolphins, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think it's different. It is different for each of these teams.
I also think that there's a start of purgatory and a end of purgatory, right? The goal of purgatory by definition is to eventually get to heaven.
Right, you want to get out.
Doesn't mean the Cardinals aren't knocking on the door to get there, right? So are they maybe still in it and fighting on the back ends to get out? That's a different way to look at it as a whole. But I looked at it as I think they are in that conversation and not necessarily in a bad way. The conversation for years has been we haven't seen what Kyler Murray is at his full peak. 3 of the teams in that conversation are that. We talked about yesterday how the Jacksonville Jaguars feel like the best, comparison when you talk about the AFC team that's like the Cardinals. They have this quarterback who was a number 1 pick in Trevor Lawrence, and it just feels like we haven't seen the full potential of what he could be and who he was in college. And Tua Tagovailoa, same thing. Feels like we haven't seen his full potential of who he might be. And part of that is injury in his case. But aren't those 3 teams with the same conversations? They have the talent around them. Look at Jacksonville. I mean, they have tons of talent. They went out and got an offensive-minded coach, right? They have to make that jump. I think a lot of people think that Jacksonville is going to take that step forward. I think they're the quote-unquote sexier pick than the Cardinals have been this year, and they're still put on that list. So I don't know if it's necessarily a condemning the Cardinals to this Steelers era of its, quarterback in, quarterback out. We're still trying to find our guy. It's just we haven't seen it.
I just think if you're going to put the Cardinals on this list, there's a bunch of other teams that should also be on this list.
I would have put the Cowboys on the list.
I think Seattle should be on the list. Is San Francisco not a team that should be on this list?
I think just because they went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, they won't be on the list.
Where are the Bears on this list?
Probably below it.
But you hear what I'm saying? What's truly the difference between where the Bears are at right now and where the Cardinals are at right now? What's really the difference between those 2 teams? And that's, to me, where I come back to, in my mind, when anytime we have these conversations in sports, I like to use the word stuck. If I feel a franchise is stuck, then they're in purgatory because they just don't know what direction they're trying to go in. The Colts, they feel like a team that's stuck. They don't know what to do. Daniel Jones is going to be their starting quarterback this year. They don't feel like they have any idea. The Steelers.
Is there, can I ask you this?
Sure.
Is there levels of stuck? So
I'm
for me,
sure.
And the reason I always ask this question is, for me, I grew up Philadelphia area, right? The Sixers were a first, second round team for most of my life. And then they decided, we're done with that. We're going to tank. We're going to go into the process, right? And they traded away their good players and they went into the process. Now they're a playoff team, but they're stuck.
No, I hear you. And I do think there are levels to this, but I don't find myself thinking about the Cardinals going into this year and saying, oh, they're stuck. I think it's very clear where they're trying to go. And they're making the right decisions and they're going in the right direction and they've picked a direction and they're going into it and they're going all in into that direction, pushing their chips into the middle. Whereas Indy, Daniel Jones is going to be their starting quarterback this year. They have been in and out on Anthony Richardson ever since the moment that they drafted him.
I just can't believe they won't play him. But
Pittsburgh, since Big Ben left, just back and forth between quarterback options, right?
Certainly. Yeah.
Minnesota, we love Minnesota. We love Kevin O'Connell, right? We love him. J.J. McCarthy starting. Are they not potentially going to find themselves in purgatory because they don't know what he is as a quarterback?
That one's a different one, and hear me out on this, because they made that choice. Like, they had the option to bring back Sam Darnold,
Fair enough.
They didn't. So I don't think you can put them in because they're not stuck. They made that decision.
Your favorite Carolina Panthers, I think, should be a team on this list.
Probably should be.
And I think if Carolina's on this list, how can you say that Arizona also belongs on this list? And the opening paragraph to the Cardinals blurb, I think, kind of proves this out. Quote, can you be optimistic while in purgatory? The Cardinals, which have gone 9 seasons without winning a playoff game, finishing with either 7 or 8 wins in 4 of those years, suggest it's possible. End quote. So they're basically
that's what I'm saying.
Saying what I'm saying of that, like, there's so much optimism that I wouldn't associate that word with the Cardinals because to me, that word is skewed so negatively, and it is skewed more towards you don't know where you're going as a franchise. And I just don't think that about the Arizona Cardinals right now. I think they have a very clear picture and path of where they're trying to go.
But I think that first blurb says it all. You're this 6 years in with the same quarterback that you drafted.
Yep, and you're 9 seasons without winning a playoff game. I get it.
Playoff team.
I hear you.
Playoff win.
That track record of results would. Yes. By
definition, that means you're stuck. And you signed him to an extension.
I know. And we don't see eye to eye on this. So we had this conversation in the morning meeting. I just wouldn't use the word stuck to describe this franchise right now. And I wouldn't use that word to describe them ever since Jonathan Gannon and Monty got here. They cleaned house. They changed directions. They're not stuck in between win now, rebuild, trying to reset. They've picked the path. They're going in that path, and it's working. So that, to me, just kind of removes them. But I hear you. The results would put them in that mix, just like in Jacksonville, just like in Pittsburgh, just like in Indy. I get it. I hear you. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Brian over there says, hi, boys. Feel like our leader and his trusty sidekick slowly have me leaning towards using the Cards in one of my survivor picks. This is a very scary place to be. Week 1 against the Saints.
I love them this week or next week.
Here's what I would say. If you're in one of those survivor pools and you're trying to think ahead, and you can't think too far ahead, but you do realize that once you use a team, you can't use them anymore, is there going to be a better time to use the Cardinals than week 1 against the Saints?
I would lean on them pretty early, given the back half of their schedule, right?
Right. Certainly the Cardinals are a team that in those types of pools, I would lean towards using them earlier because of the advantage on the schedule, because of the teams that they're playing, right? And just because I think they're going to get off to a hot start. And if I'm not saying to use them week 1, Brian, please. I don't want to be held responsible. Evan doesn't want to be held responsible if you get knocked out in week 1. But if you are going to use them, week 1 does feel like the one time I would feel very, very confident about using them. They may be one of the teams I don't use if we were doing something like that. But yeah, I hear you. I can understand why that's the place that you find yourself ahead of week 1. When we come back, winning, of course, priority number 1. But what else do we want to see this Saturday from ASU football? That's next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
First episode psychosis is no joke, and neither is getting help as soon as symptoms show up. Early treatment gives you a better chance at feeling like yourself again. If you are showing signs, like having hallucinations or trouble thinking clearly, don't wait. Counseling, medication, and support from loved ones can slow down the effects of psychosis before it's too late. Speak with your doctor today and visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MedForce, working to build healthier communities.
Wendy's has a huge new drink lineup. And you know what goes great with your to-do list? A little treat. And we've got one for everything on that list. The have-to-do stuff? You need a Frosty Frappe. The want-to-do stuff? Obviously a Tangerine Twist Lemon Freeze. The stuff that's been on your list for like a year? That's going to be a Sparkling Energy. And maybe a reality check? Giving your to-do list a to-drink list? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Sparkling Energy with caffeine.
The Mazda More to Move You sales event is going on now at Mark Mazda. Right now, receive 1.9% APR for 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $998 fee.
Make memories you'll cherish for years to come. Join Miss Appleberry, JJ, Cody, Nina, and Cece for a lively Melon Patch musical adventure in this exciting interactive live show. Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at the Arizona State Fair. Sing along. Dance along. Play together. Tickets on sale now at azstatefair.com and include Arizona State Fair admission. It's a celebration of connection and childhood wonder. Coco Melon Sing Along Live inside the Coliseum at the Arizona State Fair.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. You know, most pest control companies use the same products we do. That's not the difference. But what is the difference is how we treat people. At Moxie, kindness counts, and it shows in every visit, every conversation, and every one of the 6,500 plus five-star Google reviews our customers have written. Our field experts aren't just trained to handle pests. They're trained to treat your home, your family, your pets, and your time with the kind of respect you deserve. And our services come with a pest-free guarantee. Our methods and service just work better because our people are better. So if you want a pest control company you can trust in and around your home, give us a call. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
ASU gets their football season underway this Saturday. What is it? Mountain America Credit Union Stadium?
That sounds right.
Sun Devil. I used
the former Sun Devil Stadium.
Former Sun Devil Stadium. I remember when I was working in the booth. It was the first year when the name change happened.
That was tough.
We had the jar.
The dollar jar.
We had the jar. Anytime somebody made a mistake.
Just Mountain America Stadium.
Yeah, just Mountain America Stadium.
Mountain America
Stadium. The dollar went into the jar when you made a mistake. So ASU going to get their season underway in front of a sellout crowd.
Announced by Graham Rossini yesterday.
That's right. Athletic Director Graham Rossini yesterday announcing that it is a sellout for the home opener. First game of the season for ASU against NAU under the lights on Saturday. And winning the game, priority number one. Winning the game, of course, is what we're all looking to see. I think that's a given when you start this impressive campaign that we hope that the Sun Devils have. And you are playing a rival from up north, but a team that, let's face it, you should fare very well against on Saturday. So let's put winning to the side for just a second. What else are we looking for out of this game? And I posed this question in the morning meeting, and I took more of a big picture 30,000 foot view on this, whereas producer Evan got like extremely detailed, and he's like, I want to see what the pass rush looks like. And he was just going down the position groups on what he wanted to see.
You weren't specific in what you asked for.
Fair enough. I just said, hey, what are you looking for? And you just went extremely granular on me. But I think it's fair to point out the other things that you're looking for. And I'll just share the big top line thing for me that I'm looking for on Saturday. Saturday is the start of the season. And Saturday will also mark the stopping point of us looking back towards last year. It ends. The focus is now going to be, starting on Saturday when that ball gets kicked off in the air, it is going to be on the 2025-26 campaign for the Sun Devils. We are not going to go down memory lane very often. The focus is going to be on what this team needs to do, what this team needs to execute in order to follow up what was a very successful year last year. So to me, the thing I'm looking for is that game, those 4 quarters are going to be the start of, we're not talking about last year anymore. And Kenny has said that, mentioned it numerous times here in the offseason. But once that game starts on Saturday, we're going to officially be living in that world. That is going to be our reality. And then the conversation turns to, is Sam Levitt going to prove that he is a Heisman Trophy candidate this year? Is Kenny going to prove as a coach that he is not going to overreact too much to what they did a year ago, and he is still the same guy, is going to coach the same way, is going to be the same leader of this program the way he was last year? Those are the big ticket takeaways that I'm looking for over the weekend.
It starts this week, right? And so I'm interested to see, because Kenny, like you said, it's moving on. It's taking that next step. Kenny has been put the past in the past, right? Everybody read the We Are the Champions report out of practice. I'm interested to see, are they even, are they going to welcome your Big 12 champions to the field? Are they going to almost forget about it? Let's kick off on a new season. Nothing matters.
I'll tell you, if Kenny had his way,
they wouldn't do a single thing.
They wouldn't mention it at all. I don't know if he will win that battle, but I think if Kenny was the person making the final decision, that would not happen.
Not at all.
They would just be focusing on playing football.
And I think this is the way, and this is the night we're going to see from the very jump, how ready are they?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is we can talk about, and I went granular, I want to see the run game without Cam. I want to see what the pass rush looks like, because they really didn't address it, and they weren't great last year. And we're going to see if they're ready or not. Like, NAU is, yes, an FCS program, but a ranked one.
Yeah,
and they are a good football team.
Yes, they are.
And so, guess what? If you don't come out ready, you will get punched in the mouth.
They were a playoff team last year.
They were a playoff team in the FCS. And look at it from Colorado's perspective, who scheduled North Dakota State last year. They struggled.
Yeah.
They got punched in the face early.
This KDUS, the home of NAU football here. We carry all their games all season long. And so we know very well here in this building how good that team is. We're scheduling when playoff games are going to air, right? I mean, we know how solid that team is up there. And so they're not going to walk into Mountain America Stadium on Saturday and just roll over. The Sun Devils are going to have to earn the win. They're going to have to show us that the past is the past, and they are focusing on this year's version of their team. So winning, obviously, priority number one. But I think for me, how good does Sam Levitt look? Is there sort of this, because ASU has done this in the past, where that first game, they come out and it's just very sluggish. It's very slow. You don't want that. You don't want that door to be opened for us to be like, yeah, it was a slow start.
Especially, and I can't speak too much further outside of that, but under Herm, it felt like week one every year. They're like, this could be bad early.
And so you just don't want that bad taste in your mouth, right? You just don't want to feel like we should have won this game by a lot more, but we got off to a really slow start. Now you're worried about that lingering into the next week. So you just want to see a clean game from start to finish. You want to see this team show us with the way that they play that they have put last year behind them. Because you'll tell. If they go out there and it's just we're going to dominate from the word go and we're going to show how talented we are and we're just going to execute at a high level, that's going to tell me that all of the talk of this offseason truly wasn't just talk. They're backing it up, and that last year was last year, that they have completely removed it from their mind.
And that's the hope, right? If they come out from the opening whistle and dominate, listen, Kenny said this week they're playing a good football team and they're going to show everything.
Kenny Dillingham said not afraid to put anything on tape this week. He is not going to change the way he calls this game, the way he coaches this game, because it's opening week. You're not playing at a Division I FBS school. He is saying we are going to play our best because I got to see where our guys are at.
And that's always been their mentality, right?
Yes.
Since he's gotten here.
Yes, that's the way he's always operated. So excited that we've got some college football to break down here on Monday. Hopefully a victory, and hopefully a victory in convincing fashion for ASU to set the tone for this upcoming year. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, wrapping up hour number one here of the show, a little buy or sell, the hottest takes in sports talk radio. I'm buying or selling them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. If you haven't noticed, the summer's here. The triple digits are settling in, and we know the heat isn't the only thing feeling heavy. Got a tight budget? That's why we're offering new AC units starting at just $99 a month. But that's not it. You could also get up to $3,000 in federal tax credits and rebates. It's never been a better time to upgrade. Beat the heat and budget the stress. Make the precision decision today. Call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Precision decision with Precision Air.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks live at PHX Arena.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Buy or sell to close up hour number one here of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. And make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can listen for your chance to win 4 tickets. Diamondbacks Rangers Tuesday, September 2nd at Chase Fields, ASU night. And join your fellow Sun Devils at the game. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets. For listening on the app or streaming us, KDUS1060.com. You can also get your tickets over at dbacks.com/SGT. All right, producer Evan, what do we have for buy or sell today?
Are you ready?
Yes.
If the D-backs do bring back Torey Lovello, they still may make a change at pitching coach.
I will sell this.
You think it's all or nothing?
I think if they're going to make a change at pitching coach, and Brian Kaplan's been here for 1 season, and there's certainly a lengthy conversation that could be had about what's gone wrong with the pitching this year, the injuries, just Brendan Pfaadt not developing, and just all sorts of weirdness about the pitching development at the big league level this year. But he was brought in, and he was Torey's guy, and I think if Torey stays, Torey is a very loyal person. Think about how long it took Torey to make the change at third base coach. And oh, by the way, you see last night? I mean, it doesn't matter. I could be out there coaching third base. It is in everybody's heads at this point. Because that send was just absolutely awful. So that it's just a mental thing at this point for everybody involved in the organization. He's going to be loyal to his guys. And so I think he's going to keep Kaplan around. Kaplan was hired around November of last year. So I think he's going to get a chance to have a runway to try to make some adjustments. So, no, I think if Torey stays, you're not going to see many changes to the coaching staff.
I want to thank Matt. Yeah, I have been growing out the flow, by the way. Matthew in the YouTube chat saying he didn't realize how much flow I have right now.
Wow.
It's been growing out.
And that's why you got to go to the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel.
Josh Sweat is the Cardinals' X factor this year. ESPN wrote a story this morning, the 2025 X factors for every teams. 3 rules: no quarterbacks, no rookies, no coaches.
So I can't pick Kyler Murray, I can't pick Will Johnson, and I can't pick Drew Petzing.
Correct.
Basically, for the Cardinals, what those 3 would be. An X? No. I'm going to sell that Josh Sweat is the X factor. It's Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the X factor for the Cardinals in 2025.
You don't think it's has anything to do with upgrading a pass rush? As stagnant as the offense was at times, it's not really what held them out of the playoffs.
No, and I'm not saying that Josh Sweat isn't going to be important to what they want to do defensively, but there are just so many pieces that were brought in defensively. I think they'll be okay if Josh Sweat maybe takes a couple of weeks to get things going. Whereas on the offense, they didn't bring anybody in. I mean, how many times do I have to talk about a wide receiver 2 for this team, right? I mean, they didn't bring anybody new in offensively anywhere. Not a single addition to their starting group that wasn't here last year. So that puts some pressure on Marvin Harrison Jr. That makes him the X factor.
The D-backs will need an MVP caliber season from both Carroll and Marte to compete in 2026.
I will buy this because of the state of the rotation right now. I reserve the right to change my mind on this take.
Am I putting this down? This in layaway?
No, I don't want to put this one on layaway. I kind of want to put it on layaway. No, I'll buy this take. They're going to need those 2 guys to lead offensively.
And MVP, I guess, is a little.
It's a little vague.
It's a little vague. They just both need to be great.
They need to be the best versions of themselves. Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say that yes, they both need to be the best versions of themselves towards their ceilings for this team in order to compete, especially with.
And I think at both of those players' ceilings, they are MVP caliber players.
I mean, you don't need to convince me. I wholeheartedly agree that when both of those players are playing at their absolute best, that they are MVP candidates.
Last one today. Arizona State will cover the 28.5-point spread on Saturday.
I'll buy. I mean, this program in general is very bullish on the Sun Devil program. So
we're very bullish.
Any
on the
chance
Sun Devil program.
that we get a chance to tout that, scream that from the mountaintops, we're certainly going to do it. So yeah, they'll cover They'll cover the more than 4 touchdowns. This is 28.5. So I need the 4 touchdowns.
So you need a 4 touchdowns, maybe a go for 2 late in the game.
No, I just need I need 4 touchdowns and then the extra field goal.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And apparently they got a kicker this year. That's the rumor.
So we may not need to be as aggressive on 4th down this year. So that'll all work out. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. When we come back, is September going to be enough time for Jordan Lawlar? That's next. Thanks for joining us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Head coach Brian Wright and the Lumberjacks are setting a new standard in Flagstaff.
Happy with our attitude, our effort, how we've come together as a football team.
Join us Saturday. The Lumberjacks invade Arizona State to battle the Sun Devils. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Lumberjack football.
Gives us way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
The NAU Lumberjacks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined. And stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Lincoln Park. From Zero World Tour 2025.
You ready?
Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, September 6th. With special guest Gene Dawson. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit lincolnpark.com.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. We appreciate you joining us. I just can't quit talking about Jordan Lawlar. I mean, it's impossible for us as a show to avoid going like 7 or 8 days without discussing
It's
Jordan
really
Lawlar.
an addiction. It's become a problem.
We want to see this kid succeed very much.
I've never talked about a prospect this much in any team that I've ever rooted for or enjoyed.
Have you seen what his numbers this year down in Reno are? I have them. You don't have to look them up. I have them in front of me. Do you know what they are?
Do you want me to guess?
I would love for you to guess what you think his average is, his on-base percentage is, and then his OPS.
I think he's hitting probably 305.
Okay. 313 average.
With an on-base percentage of 400.
403 on-base percentage.
And what did you want me to guess last?
His OPS.
His OPS. I'm going to go with an OPS at 980.
967 OPS. He's got 11 homers, 50 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, 313 average, 403 on base percentage, a 967 OPS.
Can I be honest with you? I was within, 30 points for all three combined?
It was an excellent job by you. Yes. No, credit where credit is due. Excellent job guessing by you. I look at those numbers, and I see also a career minor league stat line of a 298 average, a 395 on base, and a 910 career minor league OPS. And I look at a player, and I say, what is he still doing down in AAA Reno? What else does he have to prove down there before he gets called up? Now, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. There's a reason why he's not up here, rehabbing from an injury. They wanted to get him some at-bats down there in Reno. And right now, the roster is somewhat limited on where they're going to play him. Now, in a couple of days, rosters expand. Rosters go from 26 to 28. You get to add one hitter and one pitcher to your big league club. It is all but certain, lock, that Jordan Lawlar is going to be that player on the hitting side that gets called up for September 1st. Now, I hope that with that comes an entire month of at-bats for Jordan Lawlar in which he is playing every single day. Because that leads me to this question, the question that I asked before the break. Is that going to be enough? He's had 19 at-bats at the big leagues this year. He's had 50 total career at-bats in the bigs over his run in 23 and the small little run that he had this year. And the numbers aren't great. I'll read them to you. You know them. You know they're not very good. You know that in the 50 at-bats, he has just 4 hits. You know that he's got an 080 average at the big league level, a 259 OPS. You know that this year he didn't have a hit in the 19 at-bats at the big league level. You know that he had a 136 OPS. You know it was bad for Jordan Lawlar when he was on this club earlier this year. But we also know that 50 total at-bats is not a big enough sample size to make a determination one way or another about what Jordan Lawlar's future should be for this team. And I look at a guy that has a 967 OPS down in the minors, and I just can't give up on that player not finding it at the big league level. Certainly not before I get 250, 300, 350, 400 plate appearances, at-bats, a large enough sample size where I feel comfortable saying one way or another that he's going to be able to stick at the big league level. And I just worry that this team's going to have to make a decision this offseason. With the way Blaze Alexander has been playing, with Jordan Lawlar, this is now going to be, fair or unfair, swing number 3 for him at the big league level. And if this month goes poorly for Lawlar, if he struggles this month, I'm sure many of you will be ready to write him off because you'll point to a chance that he got in 2023. You'll point to the chance that he got earlier this season, and you'll point to a month where he got all of the opportunity in the world. What has been my main criticism of the way they handled his call-up earlier this year?
They didn't have a spot for him either time.
They took a kid up in 2025 who has been playing every day since he's been playing club ball, probably. Certainly since at least high school. He's been playing every single day. And you put him, a young player who's trying to still develop, needs the at-bats. He needs the chances. And he wasn't drawing into the lineup enough. And then it just kind of became a mental thing, that it was a conversation every time he got up there. He took it with him in the field. The defense was a bit of a problem. And so you just need to be able to call him up, sit him down, and tell him you're playing every day. Some days it's going to be at third. Some days it may be at second. Some days they may have you in there as the DH. I might even have you out there in left field for a day or two. But you are going to be in this lineup every day. We are going to give you every chance to succeed and thrive and grow and become the player that we know you can be. That's the only way you're going to find this answer out. That's the only way this organization is going to be able, at the end of the season, to say our starting third baseman next year is this person, whether it's Blaze or Jordan. I just worry, is a month going to be enough time? Is a month going to be enough at bats for us to have a definitive answer here? I worry that, yes, the injury played a role in this, that we are still going to have too small of a sample size to determine what to do here. How many at-bats is he going to get in a month?
The other question is, how good does he need to be? What does he need to show you?
Right. What does the stat line even need to look like? How many games do the Diamondbacks play in September? I apologize. I put you on the spot there. You were not prepared to answer that question. Is it 25? Is it 26? And they're going to have a couple of off days. Let's just, while producer Evan finds the actual number, let's use 25 as the number. And let's assume he's going to play all 25 of those games. He's going to start and play and get 3 at-bats in every one of those games. You're talking about 75 at-bats. You're talking about him still ending this year with less than 150 at-bats at the big league level. That is not a strong enough sample size to make a determination one way or another. I'll tell you what, I would much rather those 75 at-bats be
24
great.
games.
So 24 games times 3. 72 at-bats. 72 at-bats is...
It's nothing.
It's a small sample size. So to your question, I'd love for him to look great. I'd love for him to hit 270. I'd love for him to have a 340, 350 on base. I'd love for him to have an OPS 825 and above.
But if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, it's still a small sample size. Even if he does, if he hits all those metrics, if he hits all those numbers, it is still an incredibly small sample size. So I think no matter what he does in the month of September, he is still going to be one of the biggest question marks around this team going into 2026. And I also worry about this. Unless he's putting up MVP type numbers, is 72 at bats? Again, that is with the most optimistic view of this. Is he going to be able to put up numbers that are better than what Blaze Alexander has done in August? Is he going to be able to beat what Blaze has done this year for this team? Because that's who he's competing against. That's who's directly stopping him from being the opening day third baseman for this team in 2026. He has nothing left to prove down in Reno. If he is healthy, Jordan Lawlar is going to be on the 2026 roster for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The question remains, is it going to be as the starter, or is he going to be fighting for playing time as a utility infielder, getting a spot start at second base every so often? When Blaze needs a day off, he's drawn in there. Maybe he's the DH. And he'll get a handful of at-bats throughout the week, but it'll look very similar to what his playing time looked like earlier this year when he was called up in 25. 23, he was called up as a kid. I think that was an unfair situation for him to be in.
I think it was unfair this year.
This year, I can point to they never put him in a position to succeed. It was doomed from jump.
I would have rather them called him up when Cattell got hurt and him played every day at second base and then send him back down than how they handled it.
And so now we assume in a couple of days here, you're going to get another chance at this. And I wonder if this is going to be the last chance, even though it would be extremely unfair for that to be the case. But to many people's mind, this is going to be opportunity number 3 for Jordan Lawlar. Where for me, it's really going to be opportunity number 1. It's going to be our first chance to actually see him as an everyday player. I can't tell you how frustrated I'm going to be if they call him up as the extra player on September 1 and he's not playing every day. I can't even begin to describe to everybody how frustrated I would be. He's had 50 at-bats.
Let me ask you this, would that be the nail in a coffin for Torey Lovella's job as the manager?
I think I'd be more annoyed at the front office for not bringing Torey into a room and discussing this as a plan. I would be mad at everybody. I would be mad at Mike Hazen. I would be mad at Torey Lovello. I would be mad at the organization in general. I would just be mad.
I mean, it's a complete mismanagement of what is supposed to be the future of this organization.
One of the top prospects in the system.
In all of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, Fangraphs has him as a top 10 prospect still in all of baseball. So you got to find out the answer. And the only way you find out the answer is by playing him. And the last month of this season is your perfect chance to play him. He's checking every box down in AAA Reno this year. Now it's time to say struggles, failures, or successes. You are playing every day because we need a large enough sample size to even begin to wrap our head around this. I don't want us to go into next year saying he's had less than 100 at-bats at the big league level. That's not a world that I think this organization can afford to live in. Because they've got other prospects that are coming up that, guess what? They're going to get that time. They're going to be jockeying for that position. Wouldn't you want to know what Jordan Lawlar is? Wouldn't you want to know what Jordan Lawlar isn't? And the only way you can answer that is with opportunity. The only way you can answer that is by putting him out there, sink or swim. And I have no problem if, as an organization, you want to play him for the rest of this month and say, it's on you, dude. We're going to give you every chance. You're going to play. And this is either going to work or it's not. And going into next year, he's the starting third baseman, and it's either going to work or it's not. But here's what I worry about. Let's say he has a decent month of September, and he's the opening day third baseman, and he struggles to start next season because, again, less than 200 at-bats at the big league level. If Blaze Alexander is on this roster, it's going to be a topic of conversation. If this team is playing well and he isn't playing well, they're going to look to Blaze Alexander as a guy, and they're going to point to this August and say, this dude can play. This dude is, you now have put yourself in a spot. And Jordan Lawlar and the injuries have some blame here. But now you've got two guys for this spot. And I don't know if either one of them has enough of a resume to grab that spot. But Blaze Alexander certainly has more of a resume at the big league level. He certainly has done way more than Jordan has. Jordan's done nothing. And so how are you going to be able to look Blaze Alexander in the eye and say, yeah, we're replacing you. You're not going to be the opening day third baseman. This is just this situation. I don't know how it's going to end. I really don't. Because I don't know if there's ever going to be enough opportunity given to Jordan Lawlar to get this answer with Blaze Alexander, with some of the other prospects that are in the system. I just don't know how they're going to handle this. I really don't. I know we're going to be here, ready to go. And the first step, I think, is he has to have the full month of September. But I worry that that's not even going to be enough. He's behind the eight ball.
And it's also a worry of they haven't shown to me that they're going to manage him correctly yet. They're going to give him the runway that is all of September until the front office and the manager and the entire coaching staff can show me that they can give him that kind of runway. I can't even believe he's going to get that either.
Blaze Alexander has played this year in 47 games and has had 159 plate appearances at the big league level. He has a 722 OPS. He's got a 312 on base percentage, a 410 slugging percentage. He's hitting 223 this year. It's been better in the month of August. He's got an OPS north of 800 this month. He's been good. He's been solid. He's been a little bit above average hitter. He's been a great defender. It's hard to not put that guy, pencil that guy in to your plans for opening day 2026. But then you have this kid, you have this prospect, you have Jordan Lawlar, one of the best prospects in the game, just there, putting up big numbers year after year in the minors, putting up massive numbers this year in Reno. And I don't want to say that he hasn't done it at the big league level because, again, I don't think the sample size is large enough to say that. But he just hasn't been given the opportunity, and I just don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know how he's going to get enough opportunity. And over on TikTok, Carlo says that Lawlar needs to spend another winter in the DR, in the Winter League. I don't know what that's going to do for me. I don't need to see him dominate other levels of professional baseball. I don't need to see him dominate in Reno. I don't need to see him dominate the winter leagues. I need to see him do this at the big league level. You at some point get to a place with a prospect in baseball where you just have to throw him out there.
He has to play.
And he just has to play. And you have to decide as an organization, as a front office, as a manager, this is the mark where we'll make a determination. And you have to get to that point. You can't be half in and half out. They just have to play him. And I think it's a mistake that he's still sitting down there in Reno right now.
And the clock is ticking. And it feels faster than ever right now. I can't believe that he's, one, still down there. And two, they won't give him a fair shake at the major league level. Both times they've called him up, they have ruined all the momentum he had built in AAA.
Yeah, it has not been a good plan. I didn't mind the 2023 call-up. They needed a spark offensively. I think they tried to utilize him in the right way. They knew at that point he was still an unfinished product, and so they took him warts and all. This year they called him up when their offense was sputtering, and they tried to use him to try to spark their offense and then didn't put him in a position to spark their offense. And he struggled. I'm not going to ignore the fact that some of his at-bats were absolutely brutal when he was up here earlier. But I just don't think they put him in a position to succeed. So for the month of September, the thing that I need to see is them set him up for success. Give him a chance to play every single day in the lineup. And then if he doesn't do it, I don't have a leg to stand on. He doesn't have a leg to stand on. The organization can say, listen, dude, we gave you the chance. We gave you an entire month, and you didn't do it. I would still argue it's a small sample size, but at least he would get a chance to play every day, and it would take away one argument to criticize the organization.
But it's something.
It's
right?
something. Play him every day. Call him up. Play him every day. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We've never done this in the history of the program. An emergency edition of a top 5 list. We did a top 5 list yesterday. We do them on Wednesdays. The NFL released the rivalry uniforms for both the NFC West and the AFC East. So we're going to power rank them. And we're going to talk about these jerseys. Next, it's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Close out summer with a Saturday night showdown. Phoenix Rising hosts El Paso Locomotive on Friday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. with great soccer and even better value. Score big with the $4 3-for-3 menu featuring a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials during the match. Tickets start at just $15. Log yours in now at phxrisingfc.com. Hot dogs, cold drinks, one fiery rivalry. Don't miss it.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
It's time to head back to school and forward to your future with Carrington College. For over 55 years, we've helped train the next generation of healthcare professionals. Apply now to get hands-on training from teachers with real-world experience. In as few as 9 months, you could start making a difference in healthcare. Classes start soon in Phoenix, Glendale, Mesa, and Tucson. Visit carrington.edu to see what's next for you. Visit carrington.edu/SCI for information on program outcomes.
Every summer, across the valley, hundreds of our homeless neighbors die because of the heat. This is tragic, and it is preventable. None of us can stop the heat, but together we can save lives. With incredible partners like you, Phoenix Rescue Mission is able to provide life-saving water and critical care to our neighbors in need. Join us this summer and make a difference. Learn more at phoenixrescuemission.org/code-red.
NFL defenses are evolving, and the days of relying solely on specialists are fading fast. Instead, teams are seeking out hybrids, players who can thrive in multiple roles and erase mismatches before they happen. Just look at the 49ers' Fred Warner. The all-pro linebacker can do it all. Drop in coverage like a corner, fill the lane like a thumper, and chase sideline to sideline with safety-level speed. When he's on the field, there isn't a single offensive look that makes San Francisco uncomfortable. The same holds true for Baltimore's new $100 million man, Kyle Hamilton. A safety by title, he's becoming the Ravens' ultimate chess piece. His length and speed allow him to cut off passing lanes in ways most safeties can't. He's 6'4", 220, brings a different dimension. That allows him to get downhill and smack running backs or blow up lead blockers without hesitation. These are the players reshaping defenses across the league. Specialists are useful. Hybrids, that's the future. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball, and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrol pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrolPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrol pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrol pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
Nothing like doing an extremely visual bit for radio, because that's what we're doing right now. Welcome back into the lunch break, KTUS AM 1060. I mean, we're going to talk about jerseys. That if you're listening to us, obviously you can't see the jerseys. So unless you've seen them, you're just going to have to play along with us here, because we're doing an impromptu list, which means I have to play the music for the list, I think. Even though it's not, are we considering this an official list? Because we're ranking 8 things.
I think this is not an official
I think we're
list.
doing it together. So I'll play the music, but does not go into the ledger as an official list on the show. Because today, the NFL and Nike released the 8 uniforms for the first NFL Rivalries series. I believe the way to describe this is the NFL's version of the City Connects. Would you agree?
Yeah.
The right way to describe these?
That's kind of how I looked at it when they first announced them. I'll be honest, I do like these considerably better than any of the City Connect in baseball.
I think that's a bad take, but
I think that these are the correct colors of the right teams, so I like that.
So these jerseys will be in the team's rotation for the next 3 years. And then next year, we're going to get the AFC South and the NFC North. In 2027, we're going to get the NFC East and the AFC West. And then in 2028, we'll get the AFC North and the NFC South. You think we'll still be here doing the show together in 2028?
You hope so.
It just feels like a long way away.
It does.
You know?
I mean, it's almost 2026.
3 years from now, though. 3
Yeah,
years.
wow.
3 years is a long time.
A long time.
Long time. So, all right. Let's start by just talking about the Cardinals uniforms, because I don't know about you, but I want to put them number 1 on the list.
They were my number 3.
Put them number 3?
Yes.
Do we want to split the difference and put them 2 then?
We can put them 2.
So they're the number 2 jersey. I mean, this thing, when I first saw it this morning, let me tell you how I first saw these jerseys this morning. I was in the school drop-off line this morning for my daughter. I was on my phone. We were waiting for it to be the time where kids can go inside the school. I was just scrolling on my phone. I saw it on my phone. And at first, when I saw the jerseys, I did not like them. Because when I first saw them, I don't know if it was the way my phone was or because I was in the car or whatever, and I've got a screen protector on. I was like, these are just creamsicle jerseys. Like,
I'll tell you what it is.
What are we doing?
It's the background.
The background makes
They
it look...
shot him behind this like orange, reddish orange.
Yes.
It looks so bad.
When you take
I don't
them-
know why they did that background.
When you take them away from the background,
They look great.
my goodness.
They
These
look
are
so much better.
These are incredible. The sand, dust storm themed. Very apropos after what happened earlier this week.
All of them are kind of weather themed.
Yes.
Not all of them, but
Most-
like most of them.
The number 1, which I think is the one you have at number 1.
Yeah.
is the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills lost.
The all white with the blue outline on the numbers is very good. Yes, I would agree with that one being a very
And
good.
it's like the silver in the number.
Yes.
It looks really nice. It is a nightmare for anybody spotting in the booth. It is awesome.
Okay, are you ready for that?
Yeah.
They're going to play the Patriots that week. So look at the Patriots jersey.
In the gray. It's like a gray blue. And that one, by the way, was also on my list. I had that one at 2. We'll move it to 3. I don't know how high you are on that.
No, I'm okay with that. We can go Bills, Cardinals, Patriots. I know what should be number 4.
Okay. I think we're going to disagree.
I mean, the Jets jersey should be number 4.
I had them as number 6.
No, there's not 5 jerseys better than those ones. The Seahawks jerseys are just Oregon knockoffs,
which are fine.
I saw that on social media.
Which they look good. I think I showed you that tweet.
That's what I'm saying. You showed me that, yeah.
And I still love them. So I have them at 5th.
We agree that with the 49ers goes last, right?
The 49ers goes last.
Because I don't know what they did.
I don't really get it.
That just looks way too similar to their current uniform.
I mean, it's just black.
Don't they have a black jersey that they wear?
Yeah, without the gold outlines.
But it still has the red numbers.
Still has the red numbers.
So what did you do there? You didn't really do anything.
It looks nice.
No. All of them are nice, but if I'm ranking them, that one's the worst.
The Dolphins might be the worst.
Well, you know how I feel about the Rams. I don't think the Rams one is very good.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I can't seem to think why you think they're bad.
There's just nothing to it.
I think it's perfectly done. It's an all black jersey with the yellow ram like horns in the blue on the sleeve. It looks great.
I hear you. You just described the jersey. I'm with you. I just don't think it looks very good.
It looks great.
And I don't think Miami's looks particularly better anyway. Oh, by the way.
Miami's bad. Those colors also just don't go with the black.
Let me overall say something because I know I want to weigh in on this. I love that the NFL's doing this. This is great.
It's fine.
No, this is good. The City Connects are fun. This is fun. Sports are supposed to be about fun. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, fun. We're all here to have a good time. We're all here to have fun. I know everyone likes their traditional jerseys. I'm with you. We don't need to do this every week of the year. But if we want to do these one-offs, I'm fine with it.
Look, I will tell you, some of the City Connects make no sense in baseball. The Philly City Connect jersey, if it was up to me, I would throw it in the trash.
I like that. I like that.
It's so bad.
There's not a single City Connect jersey in baseball that I haven't liked. And I think the same would apply here for these rivalry jerseys.
That can't be true.
I like all of these.
You like the Dodgers City Connect?
Yes.
That one's terrible.
Yes, I do.
With the names on the bottom?
Yes. I do.
Terrible.
I have no problem with them.
So bad.
I like these. These are fun. So did we come up with an official list?
Okay. Let's order it.
Bills 1.
Bills 1.
Cardinals 2.
Cardinals 2. Patriots 3. I'll put your Jets at 4.
I mean, that jersey is better than all the other ones that work.
And then Rams at 5.
Okay, I'm fine with that. And then let's rank them all. There's only 8 of them.
Might as well go.
We can do a little extra work.
So it's Bills, Patriots, Bills, Cardinals, Patriots, Jets, Rams, Seahawks.
I'm fine with Seahawks. And then I want to go. You want to go Dolphins, 49ers?
Sure,
I'm
sounds
fine
good.
with that. Our official rankings of the NFL rivalry jerseys.
Yeah, some good ones in there.
Emergency.
I mean, the Bills, Patriots, Cardinals, home runs.
Oh, those 3 are in a tier among themselves. I can't wait to see the Cardinals. And James Conner showed them off today.
The helmets are sweet too.
Helmets are great. I love the Arizona State
flag on the side.
The patch. Yeah. It's great. I love these.
Yeah, really, really nice.
September 25th is when the Cardinals will wear those when they take on Seattle. And Seattle will wear theirs on the 18th against the Rams.
The 18th against the Rams.
The Seahawks will wear theirs.
And they're in white. So are they going to wear those are white jerseys.
The Rams are wearing theirs on the 16th against the Seahawks. So 2 different Seahawks games.
This picture, by the way, I just saw the picture of James Conner holding it up.
Oh, it looks great, doesn't it?
It looks fantastic.
I
love the helmet.
Looks like a uniform that.
Do we know what color the pants are? The pants the same color?
Hold on. In the story, I think it says what the pants are. Let me scroll to the top here. We're well
like
past our time.
A red pant would be nice.
White pants.
Just white?
It says complemented with white pants.
That could look weird.
It's an all-white uniform.
No, they're the same color. The same color. They're just calling the jersey white.
Yes. I'm just telling you that it says here in the story that the jersey will be complemented with white pants. So it's just the same color as the jersey?
The jersey, I think.
That is weird to me.
That you're going to go monochromatic, really? I don't like that either.
Yeah, that feels a little weird.
Interesting.
But September 25th is when they will put those jerseys on. And again, these jerseys debut against division rivals. Hence why the Rivalry series. So we did a little impromptu list. It was a big story in the world of NFL today. And you know what? They actually looked pretty cool. Most of them actually looked really fun.
No, I know. Yeah.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. And in the upset of the century, our guy Michael, not a fan of the jerseys. Doesn't like them. Says that the Cardinals jerseys look like someone grabbed a brush and splattered the jersey. But he does like the helmet. It does not surprise me that Michael wouldn't like the jersey. I think these jerseys are a direct thing for the youth, for people our age. And so I'm not surprised that there's going to be an age thing here where the older people don't like the jerseys. I'm not surprised by that. When we come back, you can join us. 480-864-1060 is the phone number. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Is it too early to panic about the returns from the MLB trade deadline? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true. You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7? And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps with my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Got the leftovers coming up in about 8 minutes or so from now. But I saw a tweet this morning in getting ready for the show, and it got me thinking about how we're all supposed to look at what the Diamondbacks did at the trade deadline. And this tweet came from PHX Fans AZ, a very popular Twitter account in the Arizona sports Twitter community. And they tweeted, the early returns in Hazen's deadline deals are atrocious. Burgos with a 5.68 ERA, Hoffman pitching to a 6.55 ERA, Tyler Locklear with a average below 200, hitting just 186 on the season. And I can't run away from those numbers. They haven't been very good. But I think if you go back to our breakdown of what the Diamondbacks did at the deadline, we said a couple of things. We felt like they got themselves some bullpen arms. I still think Juan Burgos is going to be a solid bullpen arm for this team. I think Andrew Hoffman is going to be a solid bullpen arm for this team. I think it is way too small of a sample size to determine if this team did well with those trades or didn't do well with those trades. And especially when it comes to the starters, because Mitch Bratt, Cole Drake, two of the starting pitching prospects that they got in the Merrill Kelly trade, that was really the crown jewel here. That if you found yourself some starters moving forward, let's face it, if Burgos and Hoffman are busts, I feel pretty confident that you're going to be able to find relievers. You turn failed starter prospects into relievers. You can sign relievers. You can bring somebody in, change their arsenal a little bit, and then all of a sudden they're this fantastic reliever that pitches to a sub-3 ERA, right? Everybody's got a pitching lab. Everybody's got pitching development. You can turn a failed reliever into a great reliever instantaneously, overnight. Relief pitching is findable. I don't know how findable it is for starters, especially when you need two starters going into next season. So I think the only way to really judge this deadline is certainly with time. I'm certainly not going to do it at the end of August. But it's really going to depend on, did they find a starter? Did they find a starter out of that Merrill Kelly trade? If they did, I think they did a good job. Not every trade is going to be a home run. Not every trade is going to net you back a superstar, MVP, Cy Young candidate. It doesn't work that way. And in fact, we broke down at the deadline the biggest trade deadline moves in the sports history. And how many of them could you not remember the other side of the trade doing anything? Big name prospects at the time getting moved for superstars. And yet they didn't amount to anything. That happens. That's part of this. Now, am I going to say that all of these trades are busts? No. Is Tyler Locklear struggling? And is that below 200 average concerning? Yes, because then I don't know what they're going to do at first base. Pavin Smith's now back on the injured list, hasn't really had that great of a year. He's been given every chance to be the DH first baseman for this team moving forward. And I don't know if it's going to happen, right? Locklear, given the chance when he first got traded here to earn the first baseman job, didn't do it. Now with Smith on the shelf, he's going to get another chance at it. What does he do with chance number 2? Can he be better than this? Can he be better than a 186 batting average? Can these relievers be better than having ERAs north of 5? I think so. I think they can be better. And I just don't think it's fair to grade trades a month in when you've got a team that's just trying to evaluate at this point. They're just trying to get answers going into the offseason. They're not trying to win. They're not trying to compete. They're not trying to, and by compete, like chase down for that third and final wild card spot. They know where they're at. This is all about evaluation here over this final month plus. And I'm not going to be the guy that 1 month after a trade, less than a month after a trade, I start telling you how bad the trade is because of the results. If you're a team that made a trade at the deadline, right? You were a buyer at the deadline. We can use producer Evans Phillies as an example, right? You got one of the best closers in the game at the deadline. If you traded for that player and in the first month he was blowing saves left and right, I think you have a legitimate gripe to say this trade was a bust. You don't have the advantage of time on your side. You're trying to win this season. The advantage for the Diamondbacks is they traded for these players, and there is no urgency to win this year with them. There is urgency to see what you have. There is urgency to understand what these players are and what these players aren't. But these trades can't be bust because these guys are going to be here. Burgos will be here next year. Hoffman will be here next year. Locklear will be here next year. You know who wasn't going to be here next year? The players that they traded away to get these prospects back. They have the advantage of time. I'm going to afford it to them and not 1 month into a trade say, oh, this Mike Hazen guy stinks. This guy doesn't know how to evaluate talent. These trades are awful. It is a very unfair thing to do that.
It is one too early. And we talked about it with Jordan Lawlar, right? Part of it is is September a large enough sample size for Jordan Lawlar? We had that conversation 2 segments ago.
Correct.
You have to give that runtime to these guys as well. And understand that, listen, not every trade is a home run. There's going to be guys that can fit into your bullpen but aren't your closer. There could be guys that fit into your lineup but aren't going to carry the load. There could be guys who could be a utility first baseman, a utility DH for you. But you have to get productive players, and the book is not out, or the jury is not out on these guys being productive for their Diamondbacks tenure. You have all of the rest of this year. You have all of spring training and 2026 to really figure out where these pieces start to go. A lot of people are already looking at 2026, the lost season. If you're doing that, then give these guys the runway all of next year to prove that they can be a piece for this team for the future.
Do I have concerns about Juan Burgos being a really good command guy all throughout his minor league career, and now all of a sudden walking 7.5 batters per 9 innings? Yes, I have concerns about that. And I think what this really boils down to is there is a lack of faith in the developmental coaching from the Diamondbacks, especially on the pitching side. I think many of you see these numbers and you don't think that the players are bad. You think the process is bad. You think the coaching is bad. And unless there's changes, you don't think these players are fixable because it's these coaches that are the problem. And to be honest, I can't argue with you. There's nothing that I can say that's going to make you feel better about this. Brian Kaplan was supposed to come in here, was the director of pitching for the Phillies, was an assistant pitching coach over there, and came with rave reviews, right? He was supposed to be transformational for this organization, and I don't feel it. It's been anything but when it comes to the pitching side of things for the Diamondbacks. Maybe outside of Ryne Nelson, it has been a very mixed bag. And so if they're just going to continue with these same coaches, I feel you. I can understand that being your concern. But Juan Burgos, when he got to the Diamondbacks, wasn't walking as many guys as he was in Seattle. So he has the skill set. He has the stuff. I don't know what is the root problem here that is leading to the pitching problems that the Diamondbacks have had this year. I don't know. Is it coaching? Is it philosophy? Is it developmental stuff? I don't know what it is. But the Diamondbacks at the big league level have had a problem with their pitching this year. I will not argue with that. A guy that with Seattle walked 2.7 batters per 9, now walking 7.5 batters per 9 at the big league level for the Diamondbacks. When he was with Seattle in Double-A this year, was walking 2.25 batters per 9. He gets to Triple-A, his numbers skyrocket. That's obviously a cause for concern. There are reasons to be concerned about these players, but they need to be given time. There's a human element to this. These guys got traded from one organization to another. They have to move their stuff, their family. There's a lot that goes into it. Give them more time than just 6 innings for Juan Burgos. He's thrown 12 career innings at the big league level. Back to our Jordan Lawlar conversation. How about a little bit of a larger sample size before we say these trade deadline deals were busts? Just a little bit of patience, perhaps.
And a lot of these guys, it may not be their first taste of Major League Baseball, but it's very close to their first. So let them get their feet wet. Let them find their footing in Major League Baseball. It's a different league. It just is.
Right. And I think they deserve that opportunity. And I think Mike Hazen and the organization deserve the opportunity. Maybe they have a plan, and they can't really put that plan into place until the offseason, right? That
could very well be part of it.
They want to change something in the mechanics or the pitch profile for these guys. They want to get super, super nerdy. They want to get super in the weeds.
I'm a huge nerd.
And they want to change something in the way that the pitcher throws, right? The pitch shape, what pitches they're using. You can't do that in 2 months. You do that in the offseason. You do that in the lead up to the start of 2026. So just some patience. Just relax. These numbers are obviously concerning, and it does create the potential for there to be a lot of holes for this organization to fill at the end of the year. Granted, if Burgos and Hoffman aren't answers, yeah, that's 2 more reliever spots that you have to fill. But let's get to 2026 and see what this roster looks like. And let's see what they look like in spring. Let's see what they look like the rest of this year. Just some patience, some time to allow the Diamondbacks to work whatever magic they want to work in this with these players. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. When we come back, it's the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
These lawyers say they treat clients like family while secretly putting mandatory settlement quotas on their lawyers.
We never set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome.
Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
This Labor Day, celebrate family, fun, and the freedom to save with Chevrolet. And it all starts with spectacular offers available right now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Plus, you'll have the freedom to choose from an extensive lineup that's ready for all the adventure ahead. That includes popular models like Silverado. It's ready, steady, and strong with 4 powerful engine choices, impressive towing capability, and legendary dependability. Check out the road trip ready 2026 Equinox, blending style and versatility with a roomy interior that's loaded with intuitive tech and first-class comfort. Or discover Chevy Trax, feature packed with undeniable value. It comes standard with advanced safety, so you can get to where you're going with incredible confidence. Don't miss the Labor Day event, going on now at your Valley Chevy dealers. Hurry in and take advantage of strong lease offers and big cash stacks on Chevy's award-winning lineup. No matter how you celebrate Labor Day, it's always better in a Chevy.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up the Thursday edition of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Man, we've got one more show before it's football week.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
It just dawned on me.
I mean, we get Texas, Ohio State this weekend.
No, I know. And listen, I love college football, but there's nothing like getting ready for NFL week 1.
Oh, I know.
And we've got one more show before it's NFL week. I mean, we made it, everybody. We did it. We got through the summer together. We survived. And on Monday, we're going to start getting you ready for Cardinals Saints.
It's a barn burner.
I mean, it's Brian's survivor pick, apparently.
It is Brian's survivor pick, and we're pulling for Brian in the survival pool every week. Some kind of crazy news today.
For the leftovers, yes.
For the leftovers. So Adam Schefter reported about 58 minutes ago, several teams have spoken to the Dallas Cowboys about a potential Michael Parsons trade. And for the first time, the Cowboys appear to be willing to at least listen. Next one. The Cowboys would like to resolve the situation one way or another. In the coming days with their season opener next Thursday against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cowboys hold their first full practice in preparation for the Eagles on Friday. So sounds like they want this done before Thursday, whether it's a deal or it's a trade.
So they're going to trade him before Thursday? That's not happening.
I mean, is that not what the report would imply?
No, I'm not questioning the reporting. And what you were telling me. I'm just questioning this idea that they're now all of a sudden going to trade him and they're going to do it in a week. That just doesn't feel like it gels with everything that we've heard from this offseason. Now, Field Yates got involved with this. This tweet is from a little less than an hour ago. What's in play for a team trying to trade for Micah Parsons? A trade package that satisfies Dallas. If it's a contending team, does that mean 2 first-round picks? The Cowboys will ask for a ton. A contract that satisfies Parsons. This should be more straightforward. The highest paid non-quarterback ever, $42 million per year at least. And the third bullet. In order to acquire Parsons, a team is going to need to have $21.324 million available in cap space. That's his current cap number, and an extension would be worked out after the trade is executed. Do the thing. Tell me right now what teams have that much cap space. What teams right now, without cutting guys and restructuring deals and doing
21.3?
$21.324 million. Because teams can maybe get their way there. It's kind of late. Season starts a week from today. First game of the season, a week from today. There's not a lot of leverage that you can pull to try to make this trade. So what teams right now don't have to pull any of those levers? They just have to pick up the phone and call the Dallas Cowboys. So how many teams? I guarantee you, without looking at the list, I guarantee you it's less than 5.
8 teams.
8 teams can do this?
8 teams.
Boy, Dallas is going to get a king's ransom then.
Do you know who one of them is?
Let me just guess that the Arizona Cardinals are one of the 8 teams.
The Arizona Cardinals and the Packers are also a team. The Seahawks are a team. The Niners are a team. The Raiders, the Patriots, the Lions.
Give me those teams again.
It's the Patriots.
Hold on, just do them one by one. I'll tell you if they're going to do this.
Patriots.
No, not right now.
Lions.
Yes.
Raiders.
No.
Who knows with them though? The Niners.
Yes.
The Seahawks.
Yes.
The Packers.
Yes.
The Cardinals.
Yes.
There you go.
So 5 of the 8 I said yes to. All NFC teams, by the way.
All NFC.
The 5
that you said yes to.
That I said yes to. The lone AFC team in this conversation is the Patriots, correct?
And the Raiders.
And the Raiders. So is that going to be something that plays in the mind of Jerry Jones? Is he going to be strongly against trading him inside the conference? I would think, ideally,
I think they just got to go best return. As long as it's not in division.
They do, But I wonder if at first they drive a hard bargain and try to only trade him to an AFC team.
I imagine that is how it will go at first.
They're not trading
him. Most people seem to believe they are.
Jeremy Fowler 6 minutes ago. Last week, the Cowboys had received multiple inquiries, but hadn't been willing to move on them, barring an otherworldly offer. Teams that make sense in league circles: Packers, Ravens, Cardinals. So Jeremy Fowler reporting that he's talked to people in the league circles, and
the Ravens would have to clear $16 million worth of cap.
Packers are good, Cardinals are good, right?
Yeah.
So there would have to be, you said $16 million worth of cap?
$16 million worth of cap.
The leftovers was one story today.
I figured it would be. We ran a little long in the last one, and I knew this would take some time.
And let me tell you, this is probably going to be a conversation for us tomorrow. Micah Parsons potentially being available. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Jim Rome coming up next. Everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. Talk to you tomorrow. See you.